What up, my fellas? Good morning. How you guys doing? Today is another day. We're going back to work. We're gonna be able to do that, and it's been good. All right, so it's like super rainy season right now, which is pretty unusual. But it was like they say in the news, and also like from the people that I know, or people who lived in Okinawa, they say that this rain was supposed to finish like by now, like rainy season, right? And then go to summer. But it has been so rainy, just raining like crazy. And one of the reasons why is because of the climate, the change of climate, the drastic change. And also what I've heard is that like there were a few, like 2 years ago, there were no typhoons in Okinawa, which is also rare. So for them to see that there was no typhoon at all. It's like it's coming right now. All of it is coming. It feels like it's like how we say this? Like there was no typhoon and there is typhoon, and there was no typhoon for 2 years. So that means like all the 2 years that was stuck will be coming like strong right now. And I've heard of that. Like this year might be even one of the worst typhoon seasons of the year. Yeah, one of the worst and one of the most, like a lot. So that is like pretty much like a concerning for some people, which is insane to see that happening. So yeah, I really hope that this season finishes sometime, but yeah, we don't know. We really don't know how it's gonna be like. Yeah, as I told you guys yesterday, I took a day off. It was very short because I went to buy some groceries after extra. Oh, not groceries. It was like a plastic bag. Oh, anyways, there is this like we went to the naturalization, so it's the foreign bureau here in Okinawa, and yeah, the naturalization process got stricter, way more stricter. It's kind of rough. I was talking in the last video. It was kind of like really stressful and sad to see like how much this country has been like very strict about it, which I understand, you know, I really do. But it's sad because there's no exception, you know, like as in people like me, people like who was born and basically raised here in this country, you know, living in this country for their whole life. There's just traveling to Brazil just to visit, like, or their own families outside the country, you know. And it's pretty sad. I don't have the Japanese citizenship. I do have a permanent residence, but that means nothing. Like, that's not everything, you know. It's like they were emphasizing that in some videos, political videos, but that's a permission for you to live permanently. It's not a guarantee that you will live here forever. The whole businesses that they were building here, like I've seen one Indian guy, it was really sad, you know. He children here. He has his children. They are almost like finishing their high school. They don't know how to speak Hindi. And because the rate of business here is super high, they really can't go on. So it's pretty sad to see that happening, you know. It's super sad, honestly. So yeah, and we're gonna try, me and my wife. We're gonna be trying to get our Japanese citizenship. The lady who attended us, she was so nice. She was very helpful. She was really helping us out through it. So yeah, I just really hope that I can get the citizenship. Not because of the advantages of the country, you know, like Japan is great for me. Because I know the system, I know how it works, I know like the public housing, public hospital, like the public parks here, facilities they have. It's just great, you know. And I want to work for this country, but we will see if that works, you know, as like if I gonna be able to get it or not. They're very, very stricter now, very stricter, like way more, which is pretty sad. And yeah, now they were saying that we need to require them to enter to their own personal insurance, which makes it super confusing, because they have their own system, you know, like insurance system, which is so different than the US. So that means we don't need to pay it, but we can pay like a cheaper one. Does that mean that, you know? If that's the case, we can build something. On the other hand, I do think that the people who are working as a former hired person from the company, from the Japanese company, so that means they don't need to get insurance from them. Is that what you mean? You know, like they're trying to really separate the foreigners from the Japanese. So that means we don't need to pay taxes. Or they want us to pay taxes. Like, it's super confusing, right? They're just making it like super narrow even for themselves, honestly. Yeah, but like politics it's super just stressful. That's why I really don't agree with anything. I can't say like, oh, they're the best or they're the worst. There will always be like people who are good and people who are bad. We can say that, you know. Well, anyways, my point card from this way. Oh yeah. But I've been hearing this, like, one of the topic that is about a topic, a very interesting topic. I like the idea And I really love the concept. They would say about the small habits, like the name of the theory is the broken glass theory, which is about like a story in the U.S. They had a time, a season in the U.S. that everything was super dark, like broken, super dirty, you know, like really the economics was not very doing good. There were so many prostitution, crimes, no school, stealing was pretty common. And then they decided to change the president. And then they changed the president, and they were expecting him to do something about the crimes and stuff. Instead of that, he demanded the people to fix, like, repaint the metro, repaint the city, really fix it, literally, like, to make it clean. And when he has done that, people were like, "You're mad, like you're not doing what we asked for." But then, turns out, the criminal rate went down. People started to act properly, like in a psychological effect. So this guy from the video who was sharing this, he said, like, so this is very, like, it's very simple, not difficult at all. But your small habits of, for example, if you have a dirty dish left, dirty clothes left, no washing, if you have trash left, you know, you don't do anything about that. That is you putting a standard in your life, and you will live according to that standard. I don't know if that makes sense. So basically, like, the theory of the broken glass is, if there is a broken glass left and you don't do anything about it, your life can be a mess, can start to be a mess. So he suggested fix first your lifestyle, your small habits, and then you will see the difference. You will see that everything will start to become different. So I was like very fascinated about it. Like, it's basically kind of using psychology to for you to really, really overcome it. And even the psychology of, I've heard of that, like, also yesterday. I was super fascinated about it. But whenever the Greek army, they would have, like, they conquered the world for like a while. They had a Greek empire before Romans, and they would have this mindset, which they would use this technique, they say now. And the past was, like, I think more like it's not a technique, but it's like just motivational. But, like, they would say, imagine yourself, like, they would go to war, right, all the time, fighting, killing, and whatever, because they needed to conquer the world, and, like, that was their goal. And then what they would do is to take a time before any event, any fight, any war. They would meditate, closing their eyes, and imagine themselves failing, like, terribly, failing, like, losing. What if they lost? What would happen? You know? They would really put themselves in the dark spot, really, really dark spot. let yourself lose first. And then you know what would happen? Because of that, they would start to really not care about losing. But they would be able to just go forward with their strength, like whole strength, because they will be feeling as is, I've got nothing much to lose. I've got nothing else to lose because I lost already. So I know that I can overcome that. So it's basically like in their meditation, they spend like years in the meditation, like in like a few minutes, but it's almost like they're imagining themselves like it's been almost years after they lost the battle. How would that make them feel? So I was like so fascinated, and I if I have like a trial, like the naturalization or anything like as a job, tests, I have to imagine myself losing once. When I imagine myself losing once, like failing, like terribly, you start losing the feeling of I need to make it perfect, you know? As in like implementing in my daily basis. My nose are stuck. I don't know why. But is it like because of this humid weather? I don't know. Well, anyways, so that was very interesting for me. I was like really, really fascinated, honestly. Yeah. So I just wanted to share with you guys that, like, it's just a little knowledge that I've earned. I hope I can like share with you guys some knowledge about it. You know, it's a great knowledge. And I wonder, like, what if I become quick on that? You know, just imagine myself really losing it every time. You know, losing super fast. Like, okay, you gotta do a presentation like right away. You got 1 hour. I'll be like, oh, really? Okay. So I'll imagine myself like failing it first, but then I'll do it. I can do it. You know. So yeah, that's one of the ways of using psychology in your advantage. I really love that. Like those tips that I've got from internet. It's very useful. So instead of letting your brain rot, just do that, guys. Like, study more, learn more. You know, life is too short. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.